Okay. Hello, this is Lucas McFarlane. How you guys doing? It's good. It's good. But yeah, I'm doing a special 5 o'clock one next week. I don't know how I'm gonna do the podcast because I'm gonna be out of town in Florida. So I'm gonna try to get good Wi-Fi. If not, I'll just make my predictions on Twitter. I'll keep you guys posted by Sunday. I'll see how the Wi-Fi is. I'll bring my computer with me too. But I'll let you know. But if not, I'll have a special podcast on January 3rd. So I might take 2 weeks off. I might take next week off because it's Christmas. But I will see how it goes. And so let's get into it. We have a bowl game tonight. 10-3 UAB's playing 8-5 Northern Illinois. Boca Raton Bowl at 7. That's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be in Boca next week. NBA tonight. 7:23 Cleveland's at 20-10 Indianapolis. 7:30 NBA TV. 18-12 Lakers at the 13-18 Nets. The 12-18 Wizards are at the 6-23 Hawks at 7:30 and at 9. 15-13 Mavericks are at the 29 Denver Nuggets. Some games tonight that are noteworthy on ESPN2. 5-4 Princeton's at second ranked 9-1 Duke on 6 p.m. on ESPN2. At 7 p.m. On ESPNU, Xavier 7-4 at 6-3 Missouri. Also at 7 p.m. Youngstown State 4-8, 15th ranked Ohio State at 9-1. 8 o'clock on ESPN2 as well. Buffalo is at Syracuse 10-0. Buffalo at 7-3 unranked Syracuse. Buffalo is 14th ranked. Also at 8 o'clock, South Dakota State 6-5 is playing 9-0 Kansas at 9 p.m. on ESPNU. 7-3 Creighton's playing 9-1 Oklahoma. Excuse me, just had some pasta. At 9 p.m. North Dakota 6-5 at 20th ranked 8-2 Marquette. At 9 p.m. Gonzaga dropped from 1-8. They've lost back to back. UTA's 3-7 at 8th ranked 9-2 Gonzaga. And at 9 on Big Ten Network 3-9 WCU's at 23rd ranked 8-2 Iowa. So let's get into the bowl matchups that happened this weekend. There were about 5 of them that happened. There's a bowl game tonight between UAB 10-3 and 8-5 Northern Illinois. I said NIU is going to win the spreads Northern Illinois by 1.5. I made all my bowl predictions. So we'll go into the Saturday matchups. I want all FBS. Oh, there we go. Let's see here. We start with Tulane. They were 6-6 playing and 7-6 Louisiana and Orlando in the Kier Bowl. Tulane was up 24-10 at the half, and then they wound up winning 41-24. Big game by Darius Bradwell, 35 carries, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns for Tulane, and Teron Enclade, 5 receptions, 93 yards, and a touchdown for Tulane to win the game. Utah State, big game. First game without Matt Wells in a while. He went to Texas Tech. They were 10-2, played 9-3 North Texas. Oh my goodness, it was 14-7 in the first quarter. Then Utah State just erupted. They were up 38-7 at the half, wound up winning 52-13. Jordan Love, big game. 21-43, 359 yards, 4 touchdowns. Gerard Bright, the running back, 16 carries, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Jalen Green for Utah State, 6 receptions, 151 yards, and a touchdown. Utah State moves to 11-2, and North Texas moves to 9-4. A few other bowl games that happened. Arizona State played 21st ranked Fresno State 7-5, playing 11-2. This was a good one. There was 10-7 in the first quarter. That was 17 all at the half. Fresno wound up pulling away. It was 24-20 in the fourth, then they wound up winning 31-20 late in the game. Ronnie Rivers had a big game, 68-yard rush touchdown, 24 carries, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's Fresno State first ranked team to play and win in their bowl. They were 21st ranked. They moved to 12-2. Arizona State moves to 7-6. And let's see here. Two other bowl games that happened Saturday night. 9-3 Georgia Southern, excuse me, was at a 7-5 Eastern Michigan. Georgia Southern was up 7-0, then they're up 17-7 at the half. EMU clawed back down 17-14. They were up 21-20 late in the game. And then Georgia Southern had a 40-yard field goal to win the game 23-21. Wesley Kennedy, the third, 9 carries, 107 yards for Georgia Southern as they wound up beating Eastern Michigan. They moved to 10-3 overall, and Eastern moves to 7-6 overall. I was really hoping Eastern won. They haven't won a bowl game in a long time. Finally, the last game of the Bulls day was 8-5 Middle Tennessee at 10-2 Appalachian State without Scott Staffield. I think Sheffield, how you pronounce it, their head coach, went to Louisville, so Appalachian State was without a head coach. They wound up winning 45-13. It was 24-3 at the half. Corey Xavier Sutton, the receiver, 8 receptions, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Deontay Evans, 14 carries, 108 yards. And Appalachian State moves to 11-2, and Middle Tennessee moves to 8-6. Excuse me, I'm not feeling a little hot. We'll try to get this done. Tomorrow night, the Frisco Bowl. I said this. I made my predictions last week. San Diego State's 7-5, playing 8-4 Marshall. That's at 8 on ESPN Wednesday night. Thursday night at 8 p.m. Marshall's 8-4 at South Florida. Or playing South Florida. Technically a home game for South Florida in the Gasparilla Bowl in Tampa Bay. They're 7-5. Marshall and South Florida. Two Friday games on ESPN. The Bahamas Bowl at 12:30. 8-4 Florida Nationals playing 7-5 Toledo. At 4 p.m. on ESPN, Western Michigan 7-5 playing 6-6 BYU in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. I'm gonna be on a plane for this. It's December 22nd. 8-5 Memphis is playing 6-6 Wake Forest in the Birmingham Bowl at noon on ESPN. 3:30 on ESPN. Houston's 8-4 playing 10-2 Army. I'll probably miss that one too. That's in Fort Worth. That's the Armed Forces Bowl at 7 p.m. on ESPN Saturday night. In the Dollar General Bowl, 10-3 Buffalo's playing 9-3 Troy. At 10:30 on Saturday night, 8-5 Hawaii's playing 7-5 Louisiana Tech. And that's it. Hopefully, and then Wednesday I might do a podcast. So I'm aiming for Wednesday morning next week after Christmas. I'm gonna take the Christmas holiday off. But if I can't get good Wi-Fi, I'll give you my predictions from December 26th to about January 3rd. But I made my bowl predictions, or so. I just hope I can get it done, and I'll let you guys know. And NFL scores for this week, week 15. Big week again. 13 through 15. This last 3 weeks have been the best for the NFL, in my opinion. Because I don't know who's going to win. Nobody looks good, better than the other team. Everybody's playing everybody really well. 10-3 Chargers were playing the 11-2 Chiefs. Oh, man, Chiefs were up big 28-14 late in the fourth. Then the Chargers came back, crawling back. It was 28-21 2 minutes ago. I had to leave to go to work. I was running a little late. But I missed the 2-point conversion. The Chargers, though, have won on a 2-point conversion and stopping a 2-point conversion. I think they're the only team that's done that. They were down 28-27. Whoever was like, screw it, let's just throw it 2-point conversion to Mike Williams. Big game. Chargers win 29-28. Phil Rivers was 26 of 38, 313 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw in the first interception, first play of the game. Came back from it. Mike Williams, 7 receptions, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chargers moved to 11-3. So did the Chiefs. They're both head to head, but the Chiefs still own the AFC West. Saturday, this was a good one too. 9-4 Houston was at the 4-9 Jets. Jets were up 22-19 late, and then Deshaun Watson had a big game, 26-22. Then it was wound up being 29-22. He threw a touchdown to DeAndre Hopkins with 2:15 left in the game. Deshaun Watson, 22-28, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns, but DeAndre Hopkins had a big game after 36 yards against the Colts, but 10 receptions, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. Houston moves to 10-4 overall, and the Jets move to 4-10. Houston can clinch the AFC South this week if they beat the Eagles. The Browns Broncos, this was a good one too. 5-7 Cleveland was at 6-7 Denver. It was 7-7. Then was 10-10 at the half, 13-10 in the third. Then wound up being 17-16. Controversial decision by Vance Joseph to kick a field goal instead of going for it when they're down 17-13 with 3 or 2 minutes left in the game. And yeah, Denver wound up losing by 17-16. Nick Chubb had a big game, 20 carries, 100 yards. Baker Mayfield threw 2 touchdowns. Browns still have a shot to win the division, make the playoffs. They moved to 6-7-1. The Broncos moved to 6-8 overall. Sunday's games, Josh Rosen didn't have the best game. 3-10 Arizona was at 4-9 Atlanta. Not the best one. Atlanta won 40-14 big. They were up big by the half anyways, 27-7. They wound up winning 40-14. Atlanta, that was the best they've looked all year. Matt Ryan was 22-36, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tevin Coleman had his best game of the year. 11 carries, 145 yards and a touchdown. And Julio Jones had 6 receptions, 82 yards and a touchdown. Atlanta wound up winning 40-14. They moved to 5-9. Arizona moves to 3-11 overall. Detroit and Buffalo, this was a good one. Detroit was 5-8 at 4-9 Buffalo. Josh Allen had a big game. Oh, man. He had a 42-yard touchdown pass Robert Foster late in the fourth to help them win 14-13. Prater missed a field goal to get the lead for him. And the Bills wound up winning 14-13. It was 13-7 Lions at the half. 2 scoreless quarters, first and third, but the Bills wound up winning 14-13. They both moved to 5-9 overall. Congrats to the Bears on winning the NFC North. Green Bay was 5-7-1 going into their game at 9-4 Chicago. And this game was only 14-3 at the half. Green Bay tied at 14-13 in the third. Then Chicago was at 24-14. Then Green Bay tried to come back, and then they lost 24-17. Jordan Howard, big game, 19 carries, 6 yards, and a touchdown. Edwin Jackson had a game-winning interception late in the game, but he got hurt. Trubisky threw 2 touchdown passes. Bears wound up winning 24-17. They moved to 10-4 overall. Packers moved to 5-8-1 overall. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're eliminated. Another disappointing teams. Oakland was 3-10 at 5-8 Cincinnati. Last game in Cincinnati at their home this year. Cincinnati won 30-16. It was 27 at the half. They wound up winning 30-16. Joe Mixon had a big game. 27 carries, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jeff Driscoll gets his first win as an NFL quarterback as the Bengals won 30-16. They moved to 6-8 overall, and the Raiders, disappointing year under John Gruden, they moved to 3-11 overall. I think this was the game of the week people were anticipating, along with the Eagles, Rams, Patriots, Steelers. But the big 1 o'clock game was the Cowboys, Colts. I was watching that. Dallas was 8-5 at 7-6. Indianapolis. Dallas didn't look good at all. Indy was up. Dallas had two chances, so they tried to get a field goal. They could have had 10 points in the first quarter. They missed a field goal. It was a blocked field goal. Indy almost returned it, but they scored anyways on that first drive. It was 7-0 in the first quarter. Then Dallas goes all the way down the field going into the second quarter. They had a good wide open guy, and then he dropped the ball, and then they tried to go for it on 4th and 1. That's where it all went downhill from there for Dallas. It was only 10-0 at the half, but Indy pulled away late. 123-0. Marlon Mack outrushed Ezekiel. I didn't see that coming at all. He had 27 carries for 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, and T.Y. Hilton with 5 receptions and 85 yards. I mean, yeah, Dak Prescott, I know he got shut out, but man, he wasn't doing really well. I don't think he'll do well in the playoffs. That's just me. Andrew Luck didn't throw for a touchdown either, but Marlon Mack had a big game. The two teams that had miracles in the last season, Vikings in the playoffs, Dolphins last week played. Dolphins were 7-6 at the 6-6-1 Minnesota Vikings. Vikings fired their offensive coordinator, John DeFilippo. I can't say his last name really well. Vikings were up 21-0. But then the Dolphins came crawling back 21-17. Minnesota might be in trouble, but then they pulled away late. Wound up winning 41-17. A 17-point fourth quarter helped them. Kirk Cousins was 14-21, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook had 19 carries for 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Tyler Conklin, the backup tight end, had 2 receptions for 53 yards, leading the Minnesota Vikings in receiving, surprisingly. Dalvin Cook had a really big game. Best game of the year for him. Minnesota looks back. I think they'll get the 5 seed maybe. Depends on how Seattle plays this week. We'll get into the matchups next week. There's something in my throat. I'm going to try to get rid of that. Minnesota's 7-6-1, and the Dolphins are 7-7 overall. Titans, they were 7-6 at the 5-8 Giants. Derrick Henry's had 2 big back-to-back games. They wound up winning 17-0. Not really a lot to show for here, but Derrick Henry had 33 carries, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yes. And the Titans wound up winning. They're 8-6. The Giants are 5-9. I'll say the Eagles game. I'm going to the games right now. Redskins are 6-7, and the Jaguars were 4-9. Not really a good one. Redskins won 16-13. Josh Johnson started for the first time in like 5 years, but they wound up getting a game-winning field goal. They won 16-13. He had a good game though. 16-25, 151 yards, and 1 touchdown. Actually, it's his first start in 7 years. Washington won 16-13 with Josh Johnson. I mean, Jacksonville's got to fire their coach after that. Losing to a 4th-string quarterback for Washington. That's really bad. But Washington's still in the playoff hunt. Congrats to them. Jacksonville's 4-10. That's a big disappointment from last year. In the last 1 o'clock game, Tampa Bay was 5-8, 7-6 Baltimore. Baltimore won 20-12. It was a good game early, 10-9 at the half. But yeah, oh man, Lamar Jackson running all over the place. Gus Edwards is a running back that no one talks about. He had 19 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown. He's an underrated running back. Mike Evans had 4 receptions, 121 yards for Tampa Bay as well. But Baltimore wound up winning 20-12, still get that 6th seed in the AFC wildcard spot. Baltimore won, they're 8-6, and Tampa Bay's 5-9 overall. This was kind of the upsets. The last 3 games of the Sunday were actually major upsets. We'll start with the Seahawks-Niners. Seahawks were 8-5 at the 3-10 Niners. Niners have actually won back-to-back. They beat Denver and Seattle in a row, so that's cool. And Nick Mullins had a big game, 20-29, 275 yards and a touchdown. Chris Carson had 119 yards himself for Seattle. But San Fran had a game-winning field goal in overtime, 26-23 from Robbie Gould. What a game for San Fran. But Seattle, I think they were looking ahead to Kansas City. Seattle, and that's why I think they could be the 6th seed and might lose in the first round of the Bears again. There could be a possibility for that for Seattle, or even missing it if Philly wins out. We'll get into Philly later. Seattle was 8-6, and San Fran moves to 4-10 overall. This was another upset. New England's 9-4 at 7-5-1 Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Big Ben, the 2 touchdown passes. This Jalen Samuels kid had 19 carries, 142 yards. Big game for, Pittsburgh. Wow, I was stunned by them. It was 7-7 in the first. I thought it'd be a shootout. Wasn't a shootout. Wound up being 17-10. There wasn't a touchdown score in the whole second half. It was just in the first half. It was 14-7 Pittsburgh at the half. Pittsburgh wound up winning 17-10. They moved to 8-5 and 1 saves their entire season, I think. They look after losing the 3 games in a row to the Broncos, Chargers, and the Raiders. wound up being the Patriots, and now New England's lost 2 in a row. They moved to 9-5. Pittsburgh moves to 8-5-1. So it's an upset. It's upset city now, man. I can't believe it. Then another one. Nick Foles came back for his first start since week 2. Eagles were 6-7 at the 11-2 Rams. And wow, I fell asleep for at least the first part of this one, but I watched the second half. Rams were up 7-3. It was 14-13 Rams at the half, but the Eagles had a 17-point third quarter. They exploded. Wound up when they were at 3-14 in the third, then 30-23 in the fourth. Jared Goff, they came crawling back, but they couldn't do anything. Alshon Jeffrey had a big game, 8 receptions, 160 yards, and Smallwood, the running back for the Eagles, had 2 touchdown runs. Eagles are now back in the hunt. They won 30-23. They're 7-7. Rams are 11-3 as well. Another team that struggled a little bit. The Saints, they were down 7-6 at the half against the Panthers Monday night last night. The Saints, yeah, but the Saints were 11-2. That's because Carson Wentz was injured, by the way, too, for the Eagles. I'm just saying Carson Wentz was hurt, and then Nick Foles is better. I'll get into the debate later. Saints were 11-2 with the 6-7 Carolina Panthers. Kamara had a big game, 14 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Carolina's lost 6 in a row, by the way. 6 in a row. They were 6-2. They're not going to make it far. They could win next week. We'll get into their matchup next week. Saints were 11-2, and the Panthers were 6-7 overall. And Saints wound up winning 12-9. The Saints were 12-2 now, and the Panthers were 6-8. And Carolina's lost 6 in a row. New Orleans has the best record overall in the NFL. It's I think the MVP race between Drew Brees and Pat Mahomes. But the Nick Foles Carson Wentz debate's not over, I think. But we'll see how it goes for there. Week 16. Actually, I'll go over the standings real quick. Overall, then basically the wild card. What could happen? AFC East, the Patriots are 9-5. Dolphins are 7-7 in second. Bills are third at 5-9. Jets are 4-10 in fourth. The Patriots can win the division this week just by beating the Bills. In the AFC North, the Steelers are 8-5-1. Second, the Ravens are 8-6. Browns are 6-7-1, and the Bengals are in fourth at 6-8 for the AFC North. I think the Steelers can clinch if they beat the Saints this week, and the Ravens lose to the Chargers. That's if they win the AFC North. The AFC South, Houston's 10-4, Indy's 8-6, along with Tennessee tied 8-6. Indy owns the head-to-head with Tennessee, second and third, and Jacksonville disappointed. They're 4-10, and Houston can clinch the AFC South if they beat the Eagles this week. And the AFC West, 2 teams to clinch playoff berths, 11-3. Chiefs own the head-to-head somehow with the Chargers because they beat them week 1 instead of beating them week 15. So they're 1-1 against each other. But their division, though, the Chiefs are 4-1, Chargers are 3-2. That's why the Chiefs still own the head-to-head over the Chargers for first and second place. And the Broncos are 6-8, and the Raiders are 3-11 in fourth. The NFC East, the Cowboys are 8-6. They could clinch, I think, with a win and an Eagles and Redskins loss this week. Eagles are 7-7, and Redskins are 7-7, tied for second and third. Giants are fourth at 5-9. The NFC North, the Bears just clinched their division. They're 10-4. The Vikings are 7-6-1 in second. The Packers are 5-8-1 in third, and the Lions are 5-9 in fourth. NFC South, this was over a while ago. Saints were 12-2, already clinched the South. Panthers are in second at 6-8. Falcons and Bucks are tied at 5-9 each, 5-9. Yeah, I know the Browns are still in the hunt. Yeah, the Rams are in the NFC West. They won the NCS a while ago, but they're struggling. They're 11-3. Seattle's 8-6. They're struggling again. San Fran's in third, 4-10, and the Cardinals are 3-11 in fourth place. And I'm going over the playoff picture real quick. I just did the division standings. This is like 1 through 6. Who's in the hunt? So first right now are the Chiefs. They're 11-3. Texans are 10-4 in second. They beat the bye weeks if the playoffs started today. Patriots are 9-5 in third. Fourth are the Steelers are 8-5. Once division leaders 1 through 4, then there's 2 wildcard spots. Chargers are 11-3. They're going to be in regardless. Wildcard or division winners. Same with the Chiefs. And the 6th spot is owned by the Ravens at the moment, 8-6. They up the head-to-head over Indy and Tennessee. Indy and Tennessee are right there, 7th and 8th at 8-6, right out there. Miami's kind of into it at 7-7. Cleveland's 6-7-1 at 10th, and Denver is 6-8. Cincinnati's 6-8 too, but they're out of it. The Bills, Jags, Jets, and Raiders have already been eliminated. The NFC Conference, yes. Saints are 12-2. Rams are 11-3. Bears are 10-4. Cowboys are 8-6. The top 2 wildcard teams, the Seahawks are 8-6. Vikings are 7-6-1. And 7th and 8th, the Eagles and Redskins are 7-7 each. And the Panthers 6-8. Packers, Falcons, Bucks, Giants, Lions, 49ers, Cardinals. They're all eliminated. I'll go over my predictions for this week. It's week 16. But like I said, if I don't do a podcast next week, it's because I'm out of town. I'll try to make my predictions on Twitter. I think if you have a Twitter, but I'll make my week 16 predictions. I'll try to get good Wi-Fi. I'm thinking about doing it next Wednesday, but I'll let you guys know on Snapchat and Twitter. Saturday the 22nd. I like this matchup. I think it's a blowout. Redskins are 7-7 at the 8-6 Titans. I like the Titans big. They've been playing good defense. Derrick Henry's been playing great. Josh Johnson against that defense. They played the Jags last week. They're playing a good defense this week. I think the Titans blow them out. They're gonna go 9-6, and Redskins will have 7-8. The other Saturday matchup, Ravens are 8-6 at the 11-3 Chargers. They're the two top wildcard teams at the moment. I think the Chargers beat the Ravens. It's gonna be a close one. I think it's gonna open up a lot of possibilities for Tennessee and Indianapolis this week because they'll play week 17. Those are the two Saturday matchups. Sunday matchups on December 23rd, day before Christmas Eve. 6-8 Cincinnati, 6-7-1 Cleveland. I think this game's gonna be closer than people think. Then Cleveland pulls away late, and I think Cleveland sweeps Cincinnati for the first time in many seasons. Tampa Bay's 5-9 at 8-6 Dallas. No worry, Dallas Cowboys fans. You're gonna be fine. I think Dallas wins a close one. They'll pull away late, beat Tampa Bay. 1 o'clock. The Vikings are 7-6-1 at the 5-9 Lions. I think the Vikings win the close one by a touchdown. 1 o'clock. This could be a blowout too. Giants are 5-9 at 8-6 Indianapolis. I like Indianapolis in a blowout here. I'll probably see this one in Florida. 4-10 Jacksonville's at 7-7 Miami. I like Miami by a touchdown. Buffalo and New England. 5-9 Buffalo's at 9-5 New England. I like New England big. Also at 1 o'clock, 5-8-1 Green Bay's at 4-10 Jets. I like the Packers and a close one. The Jets are actually favored by 2.5. I know I said I like the Packers, so I think they got to get a road win somehow. This one's a good one. 10-4 Houston's at 7-7 Philly. I feel like Philadelphia is going to win a close one. Houston's going to have problems in Philadelphia. I think Philly's going to upset Houston again. Also at 1 o'clock, 5-9 Atlanta is at 6-8 Carolina. I like Atlanta in an upset here. They played a lot better last week. Carolina is not doing well at all. They can't stop. I mean, they did better defensively, but in the fourth quarter in their game, they didn't play well, and their offense hasn't played well at all. Atlanta looked great last week. 3-4 o'clock matchups. 11-3 Rams are at the 3-11 Cardinals. I like the Rams. You know, people say the Rams they're playing the Cardinals and 49ers next 2 weeks. The Rams will be fine. Oh no. Oh no, they won't start Rodgers. They shouldn't start Rodgers. They should just rest him for DeShone Kizer, like they did last year. They did it last year. 10-4 Chicago's at 4-10 San Francisco. Oh, watch out, Chicago. San Fran's actually beat Denver and Seattle the last 2 weeks, but I think the Bears win a close one. The spread's only 3.5. I like this one at 425. Steelers 8-5-1 at 12-2 New Orleans. Big Ben and Drew Brees. Oh, that's a good one. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I like New Orleans though. 8-20. 11-3 Kansas City's at 8-6 Seattle. The Chiefs, I think they're gonna win a close one and then pull away late. That's a tough place to play in Seattle, but Seattle lost to San Fran last week. That could affect their playoff chances. And then Christmas Eve, 6-8 Denver's at 3-11 Oakland. I think Oakland's gonna upset Denver. I think Oakland will win their last home game of the season. And that's it for week 16. Wanted to go over the NCAA rankings and just all the games from last week. That's it for football this week. Let's see here. No, I want all. Actually, I want the schedule. There's some big games Saturday. Right now, there's like a live game, Alcorn State and UAB. I'm looking for other games tonight. 4 a.m. Oregon, Appalachian State, Georgetown at 6:30. Charleston Southern, Clemson. Oakland, Georgia. South Florida, Florida National. St. Bonaventure, Vermont. I said Buffalo, Syracuse. Yeah, I said all the ranked games earlier. Presbyterians at Butler. Creighton's at Oklahoma at 9. USC's at Santa Clara. When did I do the podcast last? I did it last Thursday. So I want to go over games from last Thursday. I'm more of a college basketball expert, I believe, than I think. There we go. Then NBA. I just go over the standings for NBA, then wait till the playoffs. Wisconsin beats Savannah State Thursday night, 101-60. That was all the big ones for Thursday night. Friday night, last December 14th. Not a lot of good ones either. Arkansas State beat Florida Atlantic in 2 overtime, 75-71. Creighton beat Green Bay, 6-65. Not a lot of good ones Friday. Saturday, there were some good ranked games. 17th ranked Villanova played first ranked Kansas. Villanova lost to Penn, then they played Kansas. Kansas won 74-71. Third ranked Tennessee played at Memphis. Tennessee won 102-92. Gonzaga was 4th at 12th ranked North Carolina. North Carolina won 103-90. Western Michigan was at Michigan. Michigan won 5th ranked Michigan. Michigan won 70-62. Excuse me. South Dakota State was the 7th ranked Nevada. Nevada won 72-68. Auburn was 8th ranked playing UAB. Auburn won overtime 75-71. Texas Tech beat Albion Christian 82-48. They were 11th ranked. Excuse me. Virginia Tech and Washington were in a neutral site. 13th ranked Virginia Tech won 73-61. Southern Illinois against 14th ranked Buffalo. Buffalo won 73-65. Bucknell and Ohio State. Ohio State won 73-71 in a close one. Cincinnati, Mississippi State, 18th ranked Mississippi State. Mississippi State won 70-59. 19th ranked Kentucky, they beat Utah 88-61. Arizona State was 20th ranked at Georgia. The Arizona State won 76-74. 22nd ranked Iowa played Northern Iowa. Iowa won 77-54. UNC Wellington played at Furman. Furman won 93-50. Old Dominion played Syracuse. Old Dominion upset Syracuse 68-62 for one of 25th ranked teams. Georgia State and Kansas State. Kansas State won 71-59. Other big games. SMU beat Georgetown 81-73. Ohio beat Detroit Mercy 63-61. South Florida beat Appalachian State 76-69. Seton Hall beat Rutgers 72-66. Let's see. Marshall beat Akron 75-74. Clemson beat Radford 74-66. Louisville beat Kent State 83-70. Temple and Davidson. Temple won 77-75. Let's see here. Texas beat Grand Canyon 98-60. Stanford beat Eastern Washington 78-62. Where's the IU Butler game? UNLV won at buzzer beater 92-90 in overtime. Looking for more here. Boise State lost to Oregon 66-54. California beat Cal Poly 67-66. A&M beat Oregon State 67-64. The Indianapolis Classic. Oh yeah, LSU and St. Mary's too. LSU played St. Mary's 78-74. Baylor played Arizona. Baylor won 58-49. In the Indianapolis Classic, Notre Dame beat Purdue 88-80, and Indiana 25th ranked beat Butler on a buzzer beater 71-68. Those were Saturday night games. Sunday games, I'm looking for any good ones. MSU beat Green Bay 104-63. West Virginia and Rhode Island. Rhode Island beat West Virginia. West Virginia's had an off year. They lost 83-70. Let's see here. Tulsa and Dayton. Tulsa beat Dayton 72-67. TCU beat Indiana State 90-70. Nebraska beat Oklahoma State 79-56 in a neutral site game. And last night, Monday, Vanderbilt beat Arizona State 81-65, 18th ranked. Florida State beat Southeast Missouri State 85-68. Utah beat Florida A&M 93-64. Northern Illinois beat Western Illinois 91-76. Washington State beat Rider 94-80. Those were the big games. Tomorrow's games, Wednesday night, I'm looking here. Oh, a lot of games at 11 a.m., 3:30 as well, but not really important ones. Stanford was at 3rd-ranked Tennessee at 7 on SEC Network. St. Francis playing St. John's. Sacred Heart's playing Seton Hall on TV. 7th-ranked Auburn's at NC State on ESPN2 at 7. North Florida's at 11th-ranked Florida State at 7. North Carolina AT&T's at 13th-ranked Virginia Tech at 7 p.m. Central Arkansas is at 22nd-ranked IU at 7 p.m. on Big Ten Network. Houston Baptist at Miami. Penn State's at DeQuincy on CBS Sports Network at 7. UC Irving's at ECMU. Cornell's at Toledo. Wofford's at Mississippi State at 17th ranked Mississippi State at 8. Southern Miss at Kansas State also at 8. Only for more. UCLA's at Cincinnati at 9 on ESPN2. Georgia Tech's at Arkansas at 9 on the SEC Network. SIUS Edwardsville's at Washington State at 10:30. California's at Fresno State at 10. And Bucknell's at St. Mary's at 10. A lot of good ones on Wednesday night. I'm surprised by that. Thursday matchups, I'm looking here. 12th ranked Texas Tech's playing Duke in Madison Square Garden on Thursday night at 7 on ESPN2. That's a good one. I like that one. Northern Illinois at Northern Kentucky at 7. Yale's at Monmouth at 7. I'm looking for more. Utah State's at 21st ranked Houston at 8. Jacksonville's at Notre Dame. I wonder why Texas Tech's playing Duke. That's a good one. 7 p.m. at the Madison Square Garden. They're both ranked. Friday matchups, I'm looking. There's no good Friday match. Oakland's at MSU at 7 on Big Ten Network, 10th ranked. UC Irving's at Butler at 6 during FS1. Kent State's playing at Oregon State at 3 on Pac-12 Network. Let's see, Oregon's at Baylor at 7 on ESPN2. Elkhorn State to South Florida. Furman's 24th ranked at LSU on SEC Network. That's a good one. Could be an upset trap for Furman. Old Miss is playing Middle Tennessee in Nashville. North Carolina AT&T's at Minnesota. Vermont's at Lipscomb at 8:15, 8:30. I like this one. 14th ranked Buffalo's at 20th ranked Marquette. Buffalo's playing big teams this week. Denver's at 8th ranked Gonzaga. Providence playing Texas at 9 on ESPN2. Oklahoma's at Northwestern. Evans at 9 on Big Ten Network. Penn State's at Alabama at 9 on SEC Network. A lot of good ones. Southern Utah's at USC. Sacramento State's at Washington. Friday night actually has some good games. Let's see here. Saturday matchups. Probably a lot of good ones. Wake Forest is at third-ranked Tennessee at noon on ESPN2. Grambling's at 16th-ranked Wisconsin, Big Ten Network. Georgia's at Georgia Tech at 12 on ESPNU. UConn's playing Villanova in the Madison Square Garden at 12:30 on CBS. Fan State's at 23rd-ranked Iowa. Temple's at Drexel. Columbia's at Rutgers at 1. Let's see. Jackson State's at Central Michigan at 1. William & Mary's at Virginia at 15th-ranked Virginia at 2. CSU Fullerton's at 25th-ranked Nebraska at 2 on Big Ten Network. CN Heights at EMU. South Carolina State's at Cincinnati. Iona's at Yale. Let's see here. Marshall's at Texas A&M at 2 on SEC Network. Clemson's at South Carolina at 2 on ESPN2. Florida Atlantic's at Miami and Arkansas State's at Syracuse. St. Louis is at Florida State. Texas State's at Arkansas 2 and 2:30. Oh, good ones in Chicago. UCLA's playing Ohio State. 15th-ranked Ohio State at 3 on CBS. That's the second time that Ohio State's played in Chicago this season. Indiana State's playing Colorado and Hawaii. Milwaukee's at Western at 3. Boston College at DePaul. Air Force at Michigan at 4. 4th-ranked Michigan at 4. Let's see here. Stanford's at San Francisco. Murray State's at 7th-ranked Auburn. Looking for more matchups. Oh, 19th-ranked Kentucky's playing 9th-ranked North Carolina, also in Chicago. Seton Hall's at Maryland. Jacksonville's at 22nd-ranked IU. Akron's at 6th-ranked Nevada at 7. Wright State's at 17th-ranked Mississippi State. BYU's at San Diego State. Vanderbilt's at Kansas State. UC Davis at Arizona. All games at 7 o'clock. Illinois playing Missouri and St. Louis on Big Ten Network at 8. Sacred Hall's playing St. John's. Big one in Tempe at 9 p.m. Saturday night. First-ranked Kansas playing 18th-ranked Arizona State on ESPN2. San Diego's playing Washington State at 10. And Charlotte's playing TCU at 12:30. Let's see. Sunday matchups for college basketball. Yeah, not a lot of good ones. Just the Hawaii Classic. Let's see. Monday, Tuesday, it looks like everybody's off. Ooh, games maybe in Hawaii on Christmas Eve, but that's it. Wednesday, I'm looking for Wednesday games for college basketball. No, not anything going on. Thursday, then it starts up the 27th with UMCK at Creighton, and then everything starts up again the 28th. And that's about it. The NBA, I'll go over the standings really quick. Same with the NHL. I got to do some stuff too. For the Eastern Conference, the Raptors are 23-9. Second, the Bucks are 20-9. Pacers are 20-10. They beat the 76ers the other day. Fourth, the 76ers are 20-12. Fifth, the Celtics are 18-11. Pistons are 14-14. Hornets are 14-15. Same with the Magic at 14-15, 7th and 8th. Heat are 1 game back in 13-16. Nets are 13-18. Wizards are 12-18. Knicks are 9-23. Cavs are 7-23. Bulls are 7-24. The Hawks are 6-23. In the Western Conference, Nuggets are 20-9. Warriors are 21-10. Third and Thunder are 19-10. Lakers are 18-12. Blazers are 17-13. Clippers are also 17-13. They're slipping off the map quickly. Mavericks are 15-13. Grizzlies are 16-14. Right outside there, Kings are 16-14. Rockets are 15-14. Spurs are 16-15. Pelicans are 15-16. Timberwolves are 14-16. Jazz are 14-17. And the Suns are awful at 7-24. But the Western Conference is heating up. The NHL standings I'll go over real quick as well. Lightning are 25-7. Sabres are 29 second. Maple Leafs are 21-10 third. Bruins are 18-12 fourth. Canadiens are 17-12 fifth. Senators are 15-16 sixth. Red Wings are 14-15 seventh. Panthers are 8th at 12-13 in the Atlantic for the Eastern Conference. In the Metropolitan, Capitals are 29 first. Blue Jackets are 18-12 second. Tied with the Islanders 16-12 third. Penguins are 14-15-12 fourth. Hurricanes are 14-13 fifth. Rangers are 14-13 sixth. Devils are 11-13 seventh. Flyers are 12-15 8th. And the Western Conference, the Central, Jets are 22-9 first. Predators are 22-10 second. Avalanche are 18-10 third. Wild are 17-13 fourth. Stars are 16-14 fifth. Blues are 12-15 sixth. Blackhawks are 10-19 seventh. And the Pacific, the Flames are 22-10 first. Ducks are 19-11 second. Sharks are 18-11 third. Knights are 19-15 fourth. Oilers are 18-13 fifth. Canucks are 16-16 sixth. Coyotes are 14-16 seventh, and the Kings are 11-20 in eighth. And MLB deals that look like they were happening this week. Lance Lynn 3-year deal with the Rangers today. Let's see here. Matt Adams 1-year contract with the Nats. Wilson Ramos got a 2-year deal. J.A. Happ back with the Yankees. Andrew Mastano got traded to the Indians. On Saturday, Yonder Alonso got traded to the White Sox. Justin Bohr got signed for the Angels on a 4-year deal. Brandon Hyde's new manager for the Baltimore Orioles. Jordy Mercer's signed with the Tigers, again, 1-year deal. Familia had a 3-year contract for the Mets. Jimmy Nelson, 1-year contract with the Brewers. Tyler Hill goes to the Yankees. Oh, yeah, Ian Kinsler signed with the Padres. Oh, a big deal here. Edwin Encarnacion got traded to Seattle. Carlos Santana got traded to Cleveland. Yonder Diaz got traded back to the Indians. It was a 3-team deal. Like I said, not a lot of big deals. Tanner Bailey for the Reds for Tanner Roark. Oh, Tanner Roark is now a Red. That's a big deal. Ian Kinsler signed a 2-year deal with the Padres. Not a lot of big MLB deals this week. Bryce Harper, Manny Machado are still on the docket. Like I said, I'll keep you guys posted. If I don't do a podcast next week, I will let you guys know via Twitter or social media. But it depends on how the Wi-Fi is and what time I can do it in the morning. I plan on doing it the day after Christmas in the morning. But if I can't do it, I'll have a big show on January 3rd. I'm going to take the New Year holiday off. I got to adjust my sleep on the 2nd. I'll do it on January 3rd, the Thursday. So if I don't do a podcast now, I'll do it 2 weeks from now. But I'll try to keep you guys updated for the Week 17 season. But by this Sunday, I will let you know if I'm going to do the podcast in the morning. I'm going to do it next Wednesday when I'm in Florida, really early in the morning after I run. I'll let you guys know, but I'll do it really quick. But thank you very much. If I don't see you, I'll see you either next week or in 2 weeks. Those are my planned dates. Thanks, guys.